Basically, anytime you're talking about the proportion of time, the proportion of times an event occurs, it's a probability. Mutually exclusive means that they cannot happen at the same time. They cannot. So that means the probability of A and B both happening are 0. This, by the way, you'll see this many times in this chapter. Probability reads this way. Probability of A given B. That's what that means. Which basically this means that right there. They're not true for this problem, but these two are the same as far as what they're trying to tell you. Sample space means how many possible outcomes are there. Where there's 5 green and 3 yellow, so there's 8 possible outcomes. Okay, the greens are numbered 1 through 5, and the yellow is 1 through 3. Probability of even. So if so the denominator is going to be 8. Okay, so the evens are right there, there, and there. So 3 divided by 8, which is 0.375. It's pretty straightforward. There are 8 yellows and how many total? 10, 12, 20. So 8 over 20 is yellow. Blue or green, so 9 out of 20. And orange is 0. There are no oranges. On these ones, anytime you find a sum that you're looking for, you're going to find all of them in a diagonal. So in other words, let's just pick another number besides 8. Just so I could show you. If I said all the numbers that total 5, find one that total 5. Okay, doesn't matter which one. Okay, here's one that I spotted that totals 5. All the ones that are totaled 5 are in a diagonal. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. So your probability would be 4 out of 36 because there's a total of 36 possibilities to roll 2 dice. So anything is going to be over 36, and you just divide it and put it as a decimal around to 4 places. Okay, so for 8, find 1 8, and you found them all. Here's one. So here's all the 8s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there's 5 8s also. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 divided by 36 is that. Okay, 10 of spades. There's 52 total cards in the deck. 10 of spades is 1, so 1 divided by 52 would be 10 of spades. A spade or a heart, obviously, there's let's see, there's 25% of them are spades, 25% hearts, 25% diamonds, 25% clubs. So a spade or a heart would be 50-50, 0.5. Smaller than 9 would be 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so 8 times 4 suits, so 32 out of 52. And you divide that and you get your answer. This one's real easy. All you do is divide 140 divided by 340. Okay, sometimes they do you a favor and total everything for you, and sometimes they don't. This time they did not. So I suggest every time you come up with a chart that doesn't have totals, you just do it yourself. That's the first thing you want to do. So total the males, 7, 6, and 4 is 17. Total the females, you get 29. Total the A's, you get 22. Total the B's, you get 11. Total the C's, you get 13. And the grand total, you need that also, is 46. So the probability of getting a C, well, how many C's total? There are 13. So 13 over 46. And you do that on your calculator around to 4 places. Again, I guess you don't have to total everything all the time, but you have to read the question, maybe do the whole chart if they ask more questions. But in this case, was the pedestrian intoxicated? The answer to yes is 274 total. And the total number of people, you just add up 49 and 225 and 79 and 637, you get 990. And the answer is 274 divided by 990. Don't make this harder than it is. It doesn't matter what these four numbers are. It's four numbers possible, right? Out of 38 total, 4 divided by 30. These are easy, just multiples of 3. Make sure you see how they want the answer. The other ones, you were doing dividing for a decimal. Now they want a simplified fraction. Multiples of 3 are 3, 6, 9, and 12. So 4 over 12 total, which reduces, make sure you always reduce your fractions to 4 over 12 reduces to 1 over 3. This one's easy. If it's 53.5 that says yes, then no would be just 100 minus that, 46.5. Well, this one, they were nice. They did total everything. So not get a B means 20 A's and 24 C's, which is 44. And out of the total, grand total, which is right here, 60. Okay, I'll explain to you how a formula is arrived. And then, all right, let's just say one dice. If I have 5 dice, there's 6 possibilities for each dice, right? So I would do 6. So 6 possibilities for the first one, 6 possibilities for the second one, 6 possibilities for the third one, 6 possibilities for the fourth one, and 6 possibilities for the fifth one. So there would be 6 raised to the 5th power possibilities, okay? You always multiply when you're doing these things. And then you multiply that times the same thing when you flip 5 coins. You got 2 possibilities, right? 2, 2, 2, 2, and 2, or 2 to the 5th. So you go 6 to the 5th. So then there's all these possibilities of all these dice rolling and all these coins flipping. So if you roll, you do 6 to the 5th times 2 to the 5th. And 6 to the 5th, I forget what it is. Just do 6 to the 5th power, then do 2 to the 5th power, then multiply them together, and you get that. True-false test, 13 questions. There's 2 possible outcomes, so 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, blah, 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 13 times. Or take 2 raised to the 13th power is the same as multiplying 2 times itself 13 times, and you get 8192. Again, they didn't tell you how many sides the dice is. Always assume 6 unless they tell you otherwise. So, again, it's 6 raised to the 4th power, or 6 times 6 times 6 times 6. 7 skirts, 10 blouses, 9 pair of shoes. How many different outfits can she have? Just multiply them together. 7 times 10 is 70, times 9 is 630. Best way to do this one is use Excel. If you have some calculator that you know how to use, that's fine too. But if you don't, the best way to do this is Excel. All right, go to Formulas, More Functions, Statistical, and go to Permutation A. Permutation A right here. Permutation A. Okay. And then enter, let's see, the first one is 2 numbers out of 10, right? Because 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's 10 possible numbers, and you're going to choose 2 of those numbers. So that answer is 100, okay? All right. Then you have 26 letters, and you're going to choose 3 of them. So do the same thing. You could go to formulas recently used here after you do it the first time. Permutation A, and then there's 26 total. Always give the total or the higher number first. Number chosen 3. Hit OK. All right, that. And followed by 2 numbers again. Well, we already know that's 100. We just did it, okay? So then you multiply 100 times 17576 times 100 again, and you have 175 million, whatever that number is, okay? Looks like 175,760,000 possibilities of license plate numbers and letters I could come up with. Okay, 8 letters from, here's 8 letters. How many ways can I pick 3 of them? Again, you're going to use permute A like we just did for this one. And again, the total is 8. Number of chosen is 3. Hit enter, so 512 possibilities. Now, if the repetition of letters is not allowed, that's where you use the permute without the A. So I'm going to go formulas, more functions, statistical. Sometimes you have to expand the whole spreadsheet to get the formulas. They get crunched up, and after you, actually all the time, I guess. Permute, okay? So Now that I've got my thing here, I'm going to go with, this time I still do the same thing, 8. Number I've chosen 3, and I get 336. Okay, so if the first runner that comes in, it could be any one of the 8, correct? So there's 8. Let me snip the screen here. 8 possibilities for the first. Any one of the 8 runners could come in first, right? Assuming we have no idea about their skill sets, okay? Now that one person finished, now how many possibilities for the next person that comes in? Well, there's 7 possibilities, okay? Now 2 are in. Now there's 6 possibilities, and keep multiplying together. And if you multiply 8 times 7 times 6 times 3 times 2 times 1, you get your answer. You can go to your calculator, and this exclamation point in your calculator is called a factorial. Okay, you could hit that too if you know how to use it. You would hit just 8 factorial, and 8 factorial is that. You don't have to type 8 times 7 times 6 times 3. So in other words, if there were 40 runners, you don't want to do that. You would just hit 40 factorial on your calculator. Okay, I don't know, everybody's calculator is different. My iPhone has it. There's a X on my iPhone. It's X with an exclamation mark. You just hit 8 and then hit that key, and it pops in. Well, each dice has 6 possibilities, and there's 2 dice, so just multiply 6 times 6, or 6 to the second power, and you get 36. Okay, you've got sedan, SUV, or pickup. So you got sedan, SUV, or pickup, that's 3. Domestic or import, 3 times 2 is 6. Color, black, white, or silver, 3. So 6 times 3 is 18. So basically 3 times 2 times 3. Okay, this one, the 0 and 00 aren't considered even or odd, I suppose. So you kind of ignore those. And there are 38 total slots. So if you take the 0 and 00 away, you have 36. Okay, half of those 36 are odd, half of those 36 are even. So half of 36 is 18, and a total of 38 slots. So 18 divided by 38, and you get that. Okay. All you do is take the 208 and divided by the total. 208 plus 221 is 429. Okay, so this one's pretty simple. There is a dice roll, and again, always assume 6 sides unless told otherwise. There's 1, 2 on the dice, so 1 out of 6. There are 3 evens on the dice, so 3 out of 6 are 50-50, 1/2. And greater than 4, there are 2 numbers greater than 4, 5 and 6, so there's 2 out of 6 or 1 out of 3 reduced. This one's pretty simple. These are percentages, so what you have to do is convert them to a decimal. Don't remember So this would be between 18 and 49 would be the addition of these two right here, and that would be 2.248 plus 0.401. The probability, when they ask for a probability, they want it as a decimal, okay? Unless they tell you they want it as a percentage, okay? So you got to be careful there. That's kind of a trick question. But if you pay attention, you won't get burned. So the next one would be between 30 and 64, so that would be adding up these two. And then the last one is less than 65, so that would be just add up all 3 of these, okay? And as decimals, don't forget, so 11% is 0.11. And this one's pretty straightforward. You have to total these up first, 432, and then you add up between 20 and no older than 49, so you would go these here, add those up, divide by 432 for that one. Older than 50, younger than 30, so either older than 50, so you would add up these two, but younger than 30, you would add up these two. So add up those 4, basically this one, this one, this one, and this one, divide by 432, and at least 50, you would add up these two right here, divide by 432. Okay, it's real important that you understand, you pay attention of what they want for answers. This one is rounding to the nearest 1/10 of a percent, okay? So basically, how many students were females? You get 49 out of 67, okay? And this is your answer on your calculator, okay? And there's more, but these don't matter. Okay, so that means you're going to round this one because we're going to change that to we want to round it to the nearest 1/10 of a percent. So we round that number